Welcome to our Sunday Specials. A major UN scientific report recently revealed that human activities are causing climate change, which will transform life on Earth as we know it, while scientists advocate the net zero target, which is cutting down carbon emissions and removing of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere by 2050 to reduce effects of global warming. There are concerns on the sustainability of this policy. Correspondent Esther Omopariola reports.
As the world battles dangerous wildfires, deadly floods, catastrophic heat waves, and unprecedented drought, a major scientific report by the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change recently revealed that the planet is heating up at a rate faster than it was 2,000 years ago.
This report shows that in all the assessed scenarios, global warming would reach or exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius in the coming 2 decades. However, if emissions are reduced rapidly, and if at the global scale they reach net zero by around 2050, then temperature would be very close to 1.5 degrees Celsius by the mid of the century and would decline lower to that level by the end of the century.
It's clear now, it's getting clearer, that if we insist, if humans insist on depending on the resource that is making the planet uninhabitable, then we may be talking about an end to human presence on the planet.
But it doesn't just end there. There are fears that major coastal cities will soon be underwater due to the rising global temperatures.
Our oceans in Africa are warming faster than oceans elsewhere. Scientists have shown that if we have a net sea level of 1 meter, and the IPCC report does show that sea level rise is going to continue into the future. So if we end up having 1 meter sea level rise, we're going to have the entire coastal region covered in flood. When sea level rises, is bringing salt water into fresh water system. So even communities who manage to survive along the coast will not have fresh water for drinking.
Lagos, Nigeria's commercial nerve center, is one of the coastal cities vulnerable to climate change. A recent viral video online showed cars and houses being submerged after several hours of rainfall.
It's been a week since it's rained in Lagos, and you can see the level of devastation this has caused in this community. Residents here tell me that they fear for the worst that might happen if it rains for just 1 hour.
We are crying about Nepal.
Omobakunle Ogumbono is a retired civil servant who has lived in this community for 35 years. He tells me the floods often witnessed in Anifowoshe never happened years ago. He says the drainage channels are old and poorly constructed, which adds to the rather difficult situation.
Over 5 years ago, it's not like this, but this one is getting worse and worse every year. And we try to inform the local government and the state to look at it. But the state said that it's not their own area, it's local government area, which definitely I understand. But we are trying to say maybe the state can help the local government about it, because from this place to local government is just about 2 minutes walk. When they gave the contract to a woman who doesn't know anything about drainage. The Ministry of Environment, we believe that when they give a contract, there must be a site engineer to supervise the work they are doing, and in the conjunction with the community. But the site engineer is not nowhere to be found. And when the community complain, the contractor will say that you are not the one who gave them job.
Many here are often forced out of their homes or are now at the mercy of the frequent flash floods.
I've had to change things in my car more than two times, right? The other time you just have to, okay, the water will keep draining from the car and all that, but that is just unexpected spending. Now, there's nothing like August break again, because you really can't predict when the next rain will come, you really can't predict when the night that is supposed to be cold will go warm.
However, an immediate past official of Ikeja local government tells me the frequent flash floods in Anifowoshe is an issue that requires the state government's attention.
The challenge we have is that we need a synergy between the local government and the states, because the water is not only the water from an Anifowoshe community. If you move to Awolowo way, all the water coming from Computer Village, Simbiat. So if the states, in conjunction with local government, can ensure that the drainage they are doing now is going to go below the drainage from Anifowoshe, so that whatever water that is coming in will flow through Awolowo to Ale.
Nigeria's Weather Forecast Agency recently predicted days of heavy rainfall across the country and chances of increased flash floods affecting roads, settlements, farmlands and bridges. For a mega city like Lagos with more than 24 million people, the state government says it is ready to deal with the challenge before it.
So we are introducing a pumping station in Ilubri Estate to take care of Oroyin Street inside, because the water cannot flow into the lagoon now. Lagoon is higher. So we're doing a pumping station there that will be pumping 24 hours, 18 to 24 hours a day, especially during rainy season. You now pump, you build a barrier, we call it dikes. You now throw the water in. It's when we do it very well, if we do those jobs very well, those people will say, okay, let me pay my tax, these people are doing very well. And then you have money to do that. If you have money, you can do anything. Yes. So we're not complaining, we're doing the work.
Greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide act like a blanket, trapping heat from the sun near the Earth's surface and raising global temperatures. Scientists say deep cuts to greenhouse gas emissions and removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere can halt the worsening environmental impacts.
Further investment in looking for new oil fields, new gas fields, new coal mines is just it's like investing in making the wrong investment, because the market space for these resources is going to shrink and will continue to shrink. We should be investing in those things that builds resilience. And building resilience means money. And it means investing on those things that will build the capacity of the nations, of territories, of communities to withstand the ravages of global warming.
But there are concerns that achieving the net zero target by 2050 may not be sustainable.
How much carbon can you take out of the atmosphere? How much mechanisms are we going to have to take out of the atmosphere? So it's a big, there's a power issue involved. I mean, a political power control. Common sense should prevail. Right now, what is prevailing is economic sense. And economic sense is about making profit. And this is why the climate negotiations have failed to achieve real action over the years.
While there are fears that the world would reach the 1.5 degrees by 2030, leading to catastrophic climate disasters, and the United Nations urging world leaders to step up efforts and pursue a more ambitious path for a cleaner and greener world, what remains to be seen is the collective will to protect and preserve this planet, even for the next generation. Esther Omopariola, TVC News, Lagos.